It's later with Mo Kelly. How's your Monday been going? Hopefully pretty well. Is it a holiday? I know it was Mother's Day yesterday, but it felt like a holiday. I got on the freeway. It wasn't too crowded. My commute was not too long. I got into the garage and it wasn't too filled. And I'm thinking like, wait a minute, maybe the joke is on me. Did someone send out a memo and I didn't get it? I pulled in. There was everywhere to park. Usually there's nowhere to park. Today there was everywhere to park. I had no problem getting to the office. It's almost like somebody knows something I do not. Here we are back on a Monday. Mark Ronner, good evening, sir.
How was your weekend, Mom?
You know, it was way too short, but I got a chance to take in a movie or two. I went to a special screening of Karate Kid Legends. I may tell you about that later.
You know, I was ruminating about that after we had just a couple texts. I'm just kind of over that. I have had all the nostalgia from that I require, and I think too much of a good thing maybe at this point.
Yeah, you might be right. That's all I'll say.
Oh my God,
you might be right.
I hope this is being recorded.
We're starting off the week agreeing that is unsettling.
Oh,
word. We're off to a horrible start.
Seriously,
Stefan, did you Uber this weekend?
I did.
Did you make a little bit of money or a lot of money?
I made a pretty good amount of money.
Do they pay you each night?
You have the option to take it out whenever you want, but if you don't take it out yourself, it's weekly.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Not bad. Twala Sharp, did you go to any concerts with your daughter this weekend?
No.
You sure?
No, seriously. Slept in pretty much all weekend, man. Shockingly.
That is sometimes a good weekend.
Oh, it's
a
the
good
best.
weekend.
The best.
We got so much to cover locally. Just want to let you know at the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk about the Long Beach Memorial Nurses Strike, which has been announced and scheduled for May 22nd. That could have all sorts of impact and influence on your lives, especially if you're in Southern California. We'll talk about that at the bottom of the hour. I have to start off with some local news here, and it's unfortunate, but it is relevant to things we've discussed on this show. And I say this not as in I told you so, but more as let me warn you one more time that you do not take going to the gas station lightly. I say that I do not go to the gas station at night, but whenever I do, which is always in the daytime, my head is always on a swivel because I know I am more likely to be victimized at a gas station than any other time, if only because you're there to spend money, presumably. You're stationary. You may be distracted. Your car door is opened. They know you have your keys on you. You are more likely to be victimized or carjacked or something of that. A 78-year-old man, unfortunately, has died when he was dragged during a violent carjacking at a Norco gas station this afternoon. And this happened around 12:23 p.m. And the victim, according to news reports, was cleaning the back seat of his car when a suspected carjacker got in and started backing up with the 78-year-old man still in the back of the vehicle, partially in, partially out. And then that's when the suspect allegedly sped east on Hidden Valley Parkway, dragging the victim for about a quarter mile.
I'm seeing a mile.
Oh, okay. Then they've updated it.
That's in my copy. I don't know. I'm sure the story will shape up throughout the evening.
No, since it happened earlier today, there may be some conflicting information. I'm getting this from ABC 7. I can't speak for you.
It's horrifying one way or the other.
The man fell out of the car and was taken to a hospital where he later died. And there's nothing we can do about this man, unfortunately, but if I can impress upon anyone one more time that when you are at a gas station, be it man, woman, young adult, elderly individual, you have to pay attention at all times because criminals will target people and their cars at a gas station. I don't know what else to say. And this story came down, I want to think maybe 5 minutes. I saw this 5 minutes before we got on the air, and I said to Waldo, we have to make mention of this because it's real important to what we do.
Yeah. No, and interesting enough, I practice gas station safety whenever I go in. Today on the way in, I had to stop and get gas. And in dropping my son off, he didn't understand why I did it, but I get out the car and I close the doors, leave the AC running, and I lock the doors, and then I go and get my gas. He's like, I'm in the car. Why'd you lock the door? I'm like, because of car jackers. He's like, well, no one's coming around here. I'm like, that's the type of mentality that you have when you get jacked. No one's going to come around here.
It's the false sense of security, believing that because it's broad daylight. This is 12:23 in the afternoon. That's when we're probably most relaxed. 12:23 in the afternoon is when I would usually get my gas, maybe on the way to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when something bad could happen. I'm quite sure as a 78-year-old man, he was looked upon as probably an easier target. But again, if you're not paying attention, you are an easier target, unfortunately. And I would want everyone to be safe. And safety starts with the decisions and choices that you make before you find yourself in danger, before you get into a situation where someone is trying to carjack you. And all of us, with the exception of the people who have EVs, got to go to the gas station. And if you're going to go, don't go at night. And when you do go, you have to remain attentive at all times, because that's when you are more susceptible than other times.
And I see this all the time. I'm sorry, Mark. I see this all the time where I see people go through a gas station car wash, and right at the end, they'll go park right there out at the exit, and they start vacuuming, cleaning out the back of their car. And every single time I see people just nose in the car, back to the world with their door open, I'm like, you are looking like a victim. You're looking like a victim right now.
Be safe out there. It's later with Mo Kelly. When we come back, we have a Metro update. And interestingly enough, it has to do with safety and the elderly. That's next.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. I got to tell you, and just in case you didn't know, we're still live on YouTube at Mr. Mo Kelly, MrMokelly. I got to tell you, I'm getting offended again. For another occasion, Metro is doing something and not including me. How are you going to have the 9th annual Older Adult Transportation Expo, which is put on by LA Metro at the Pasadena Convention Center, happened last Friday, and not invite me? I'm like doubly offended because they were talking about taking seniors 55 years and older first. That's effed up. I'm 55, and they're considering me a senior. All right,
that is senior.
That's number one. And number two, you didn't at least give me the respect of inviting me to the event because I might have had something to add.
Well, maybe they're working on something else, like naming a new Mo Kelly hemostat for people who have been injured.
I don't know. I would like to know, though. They're not including me in the conversation.
You at least could have hosted the seminar.
Wouldn't I have been great for that?
Yes.
It would have been a great community event, and it could have built bridges. It could have improved their media outreach and their coverage, but no, they just completely ignored me. But anyhow, it was the 9th annual Older Adult Transportation Expo. Happened Friday at the Pasadena Convention Center, and it was attended by, get this, 640 senior citizens. It's like built in, KFI, 640 senior citizens.
They did that on purpose. That's not a mistake.
It writes itself.
They're playing in my face, I tell you.
Yeah.
I tell you. And they were supposedly, Metro was focused on teaching older adults how to use the Metro system, successfully loading and using a tap card for entering trains and buses, and also listening to their concerns. You know what their number one concern was? Anyone? Bueller?
New security fare gates?
No. Safety. Getting killed, shot, stabbed, I don't know, abducted. Quote, a lot of older people are afraid to travel on trains and buses because they don't think it is safe. That's Marilyn Peters, an LA Metro travel buddy for 8 years down in the Crenshaw district. Okay? This is what Marilyn does. Before she starts an outing with a new group, she emails them safety precautions. Bring a small purse. Keep your cell phone inside your purse. Have your tap card ready so you're not rummaging for it. Always be alert. Don't wear a lot of jewelry. All great advice. Great advice, but still, the underlying concern is safety. That's not because they're all listening to this station or they're watching me on YouTube. That's because it's a real thing. It's not just their imagination. And I appreciate, to Metro's credit, having an event like this annually to help explain how to use the tap fare cards, to explain what type of safety and security measures are in place. But if you look at the story, they had a number of people speak up about what they, as riders, saw firsthand. Assaults, harassment, all sorts of concerns that you and I have talked about any number of times on this show. It's not new, but LA Metro still wants us to know, as far as stats go, quote, LA Metro violent crime rates dropped 15% from 2023 to 2024. And that's according to a report cited by Metro's Operations, Safety, and Customer Experience Committee. Stats don't make you safer. You can't walk out of the house. And I've said this before. You can't walk out and feel like, well, I feel 15% safer, as according to the stats in front of me. You know, I feel like I'm 35% less likely to get shanked. It doesn't work that way. It's not the numbers. It's the environment that you create and can sustain consistently, which makes one feel safer.
Maybe they need a new slogan like Metro. It's not just for apex predators.
I don't know if that's going to be good enough. I don't know, Mark. You might be onto something.
You think?
Well, part of it is.
So numbers aren't supposed to make us feel better?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No. Not in a vacuum.
Yeah.
You know, if you were to walk up to me and say, hey, Mo, 0% of people were stabbed today. Does that make me feel any better? Not really, because someone could get stabbed tomorrow. And we have the totality of the information and the stats to know that there is still a distinct possibility that something is going to happen. Mm-hmm. And it could be violent. Why? Because there's still no security component and safety component to the way or to the degree which protects most passengers on buses, on trains, on platforms. Why? We don't have that Metro security force. You don't have that individual who's on every bus or every train or at every platform.
But maybe since they have hired a new Metro police chief, that is probably first on his docket.
Well, I'm sure that is. And they will be hiring people, but that's not tomorrow. That's not next week. That's not next month.
Yeah.
I honestly don't even think it's next year. I think it's more like 2027, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So whatever they're telling these elderly folks, and still I'm mad that they think 55 is elderly, okay, Metro?
But it is. I'm looking forward to that.
No. I
55,
refuse.
you've crossed the Rubicon.
I would like to think that I am still able-bodied enough where I don't need physical assistance to get on a freaking bus.
Okay, but did you get an AARP card?
No, they sent me an AARP card. I didn't ask for one.
I'm just saying.
They started sending me that information when I turned like 45. And I said like, hey, slow down. Fast AARP. I don't know you like that. We're not in a relationship. Okay. It's like they want to just consummate the relationship on the first day. It's like, look, I don't even know you. Can we at least sit down and talk?
Well, don't be so quick to reject it. Maybe there's some good deals in there for a man of your age.
There are. And that was the only problem with it, because I was willing to sit down and listen to them.
You can't say no because they actually do give good deals.
They are. So I was looking at, I might go to Denny's tonight. Too much good stuff. I tell you. There were some deals in there. It's like, okay, well, maybe I should let's think about this for a while.
Too much good stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's like, my pride keeps getting in the way.
Don't dismiss it now. Don't dismiss it.
I was in the hallway, true story, and I'm glad none of you saw this, but I was in the hallway doing push-ups because I was having an internal struggle. It's like, wait a minute, I can't be at that age where I'm going to be considered a senior. I reject it. I rebuke thee. Get behind thee, Satan. I'm not too old for this ish. I refuse.
So you're doing push-ups in the hallway like Jack Palance doing them at the Oscars just to prove something to people.
I can still do one-arm push-ups, by the way.
Yeah?
I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay.
Strong like bull.
Everybody wants to see that.
Very virile.
Hey, you know, we can.
We can.
We actually can. I forgot.
I'm not playing that game.
You got to be careful what
This
you
is
say
a
on YouTube.
professional establishment.
Now, these cameras are here for a reason. I think you kind of have to do it.
No, I really don't have to do
You
anything.
just boasted about it.
No. We have to get to the next story.
No.
Let's
The news can wait.
get a poll up.
It's much-
How many people want to see Mo do
One arm
push-up? Yeah.
Just one.
Just one. It
That's
just
all you
has to
get.
be one.
Okay. When we come back, we're going to talk about Long Beach Memorial and how the nurses there have announced a one-day strike for patient safety coming up on May 22nd. We'll talk about some of the issues surrounding that and what it may actually be like for those nurses who are working at Long Beach Memorial Medical Center. That's next.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Later with Mo Kelly on KFI AM 640.
Registered nurses at Memorial Care Long Beach Medical Center gave notice to their employer back on May 8th that they will hold a one-day strike starting at 7 a.m. on May 22nd to protest the hospital's refusal to what they call a dishonest engagement in good faith negotiations over needed improvements to patient care, nurse working conditions, and staffing. Joining us right now on Later with Mo Kelly is registered nurse Nedra Gales to give us some sense, or at least on the side of nurses, what is going on both inside the hospital and outside of it as far as negotiations. Nedra Gales, it's nice to have you on the show tonight. How are you?
Thank you, Mo. I'm doing well.
How should I describe how desperate, or I should say how concerned nurses are at the working conditions at Long Beach Memorial?
Well, Mo, the primary reason for the nurses going on strike is for the sake of our patients and also for ourselves. Our protest is it's towards the management for their refusal to just address the concerns that the nurses have regarding safe patient care, staffing, workplace violence protections, and, just the overall well-being of the patient population that we care for at Memorial and Miller Children.
Do I have this correct, that there was a negotiation which was planned for late last week, and instead of the negotiation, they handed out pink slips to various nurses? Is that correct?
The negotiation was set for last Friday, and our management team decided not to appear. Our nurse negotiation team did follow through, and we were present at the table ready to meet and discuss and hopefully come together with a contract that was fair and equitable. But again, the management of the hospital decided that they would not come.
Tell me about what's it like on an average day in Long Beach Memorial because of these issues. Are nurses being overworked? Are they not getting the type of support and support staff that they need? What are some of the central issues which is having nurses speak out and also protest, picket, and eventually go on strike May 22nd?
So, Mo, what we are asking for regarding the safe staffing is, we want to be able to take care of our patients the best way we can. And when we have units that are not fully staffed, patients are waiting for long periods of time for care in our emergency departments, those kinds of situations are concerning to the nurses and to the community.
Now that you are shorter staffed, because I know there have been layoffs, what is the concern? In other words, are there going to be any gaps in patient help or patient care between now and the 22nd because of these recent layoffs?
So because of one of the things that we're asking for with regards to our protest, it does have to do with services being cut to the community. An example is our outpatient children's clinics. Because of these layoffs that you mentioned, some of those services are quite possibly not going to continue the way that the community has known them. A prime example is the closing of the outpatient Children's Village pharmacy, where a lot of the children that are seen in those clinics, they are having to get their medications from outside pharmacies that they're not familiar with, and some of the specialized medications are harder to attain.
If you're just tuning in, my guest right now is Nedra Gales, who is a registered nurse working at Long Beach Memorial. We're talking about how nurses have given notice to their employer that on May 22nd, they plan to go on a one-day strike starting at 7 a.m. on May 22nd to bring more light to negotiations with it, which at this point have been stalled over needed improvements to patient care, working conditions, and staffing. And Nedra, let me pick up there. On May 22nd, if things progress as they seem to be progressing, what does that one-day strike look like? And how many nurses are we talking about? Everyone? How does the hospital continue to function without your work?
So, Mo, one of the big deals about this strike, we proposed a one-day strike starting on May 22nd and ending the night of May 22nd. The management of the hospital has elected to lock us out for 4 days. So it'll be a total of 5 days that, we will be away from the bedside.
Let me jump in there. Does that mean that patients will be lacking for care, or will they be bringing in other nurses from other locations or other physician's assistants, if you will, to cover the gap while you are not working there during that time?
So during the time that we are out on strike, the hospital management has made the decision to bring in replacements. And that decision comes on the heels of the approximately 80 nurses that have been laid off. And it gives kind of a mixed, what's the word? It gives a mixed feeling. Yeah, because the hospital is investing in outside workforce when there have been nurses that have been laid off from their jobs. And then we were willing and are willing to come back to work after our protest.
No.
So it doesn't really balance.
Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of what your union is proposing to do, but in a general sense, if we continue on this path and management at Long Beach Memorial is reluctant to negotiate or does not restart negotiations or does not meet your demands prior to the strike, at this point is listed as 1 day, but could this then be extended for an indeterminate amount of time and just go on in perpetuity until your demands have been met?
So, Mo, again, our negotiations team is willing and wanting to reach an agreement before any type of decision like that is made, because the nurses really want to take care of our patients. That's what we really want to do.
Let me ask you this. What is morale like among many of the nurses that you work with, those who you speak with? I have some friends, full disclosure, who do work at Long Beach Memorial, and I know what they say to me about their level of frustration. What is it you hear beyond what you experience?
The nurses that I have experienced, the feeling is we all want the same thing. We want staffing to improve. We want our patients to be taken care of in a safe manner, and we want to provide a safe place for the patients and for the nurses at the end of the day.
Before I let you go, Nedra Gales, I wondered, have you found any solidarity or support from the other staff at the hospital? I mean, from doctors, I don't know, radiologists, anyone else who may work alongside by side with you in the hospital, Long Beach Memorial. What have they been saying? Are they willing to stand with you on any level?
I can say, Mo, that there is a great deal of solidarity for this particular action and for the wants that our nurses have put forth.
She is Nedra Gales, registered nurse at Long Beach Memorial, and I would say a representative of the fight to improve nursing conditions at Long Beach Medical Center. Nedra Gales, I have been following this issue from afar, but now I'm a little bit more closely involved and associated and watching it evolve. Can we have you back on in the future so we can further follow up on this?
Mo, if you would call me, I would come.
Absolutely. We'll have you again. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app and also on YouTube at Mr. Mo Kelly, MrMokelly.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube. And I mentioned that being live on YouTube because some people have asked for this. I did not ask for it, but some people have asked for it. Earlier in the show, I made the point that I was doing some push-ups in the hallway because if you don't know me, before the show, I'm usually getting my steps in. I'm walking around, getting my heart racing, get my blood going, because when you do a 3-hour show, you can't come in like you've just been sitting down for the past 2 hours. You know, if you sound tired, I should say, if you are tired, you're going to sound tired, and you can't let your energy diminish over the course of a show. So I will do some light exercising. If you've seen KFI, we have a basketball goal, a mini basketball goal. So I'll shoot some baskets on occasion, whatever, just trying to get some exercise in. And I don't know who decided to say, I think it was probably Mark Runner, something about doing push-ups. And I made just a response. Yeah, I could even do a one-arm push-up. And then it's like, oh, here we go. He's got to do some one-arm push-ups. So to that end, I said I would do one-arm push-up. And if Daniel should bring in the camera, I'll do it.
One, huh? That's impressive.
Yeah, look, low expectations, you know, and no expectations, no disappointments. So if I were to do two, it's like, wow, he did not only one, he did two. But if I say, yeah, I can do 30, ooh, no, I can't do 31 push-ups. But the true story is, I had started doing them way back in the day when I first saw who do it? Rocky. When Rocky was training, he did the one-arm push-ups. Like, I wonder if I could do that.
Did you punch some meat too?
No, I chased some chicken stuff. No, I'm kidding. No. I didn't do any of that stuff. That was just a one-arm push-up.
That meat punching. Don't sell that short. That'll get you in shape fast.
Do you know that punching slabs of meat will probably break your hand? I mean, those are actual bones you're hitting for the most part.
I was going to say that those are like really strong.
Well, don't do it without wraps. You can't punch without wraps.
But even with a wrap, you're not really protecting your hand.
Because even a boxing bag is solid, so I can't imagine actual meat.
And not only that, if you don't hit something, be it a bag or a bag of meat correctly, you can easily break your wrists, break your knuckles. It's all bad. Certain things you should not do just because you saw them in the movies. What's that you got in your hand, Carnisha? Turn on your mic. Turn on Carnisha's mic.
This is the camera to watch you do your one-arm push-up.
Oh, you want me to do it now?
I mean, are you ready?
Probably not. All right, let me turn this off here, and you can follow me around.
Foosh, I think you need to narrate this.
Yeah, so he's coming around. He's getting ready to go. We're about to
he's down on the ground. Yep.
Oh, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Are you ready with the heart paddles food?
8, 9. He's doing pretty well, actually.
What do you do? Like a dozen of them?
I think it was. Oh, he got 11. Wow.
11? I'll take it.
That was impressive. You did it pretty flawlessly.
I'm tired.
I was pleased to see that you were able to get back up. Well done on that.
Oh, my goodness. And honestly, I haven't done them in a while, so I wasn't like sure where I would fall in the spectrum. But I knew I could get one.
Yeah.
I thought it was brave of you to do that without one of those Life Alert bracelets. Brave.
You're not exactly younger than me, right? You know
I don't
that,
know
right?
what you're talking about, and you should be careful what you say on the air.
Now, the YouTube feed, I have it like a little bit behind me, so I get to watch it now. I did pretty good.
Yeah?
If I do say so myself.
Uh-huh.
All right. I won't be breakdancing tonight either. I am tired.
Wow.
All right. What are we going to talk about for the next 2 minutes?
I think you did a spectacular job for a man of your stature and condition, and you should be applauded.
Can I get some applause then?
I mean, metaphorically.
No,
applauded.
I want
I'm
literal
not gonna
applause. I actually want applause. You know, Hercules.
Foosh, you got some canned applause in there
Yeah.
that would be appropriate for this?
I'll take an air horn. I'll take an air horn.
Isn't that kind of alarming for you, though?
No, not at all.
Doesn't that raise your blood pressure?
No.
Are you sure?
What, the push-ups probably did, but
Yeah.
that's like lifting weights. All right, thank you very much. We're going to break early because I need a nap.
Get him some oxygen.
Remember when you used to have a radio to listen to KFI?
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere.